Welcome to the Transcendent Money Podcast, a safe space where co-creators of the new earth discover the power of transcendent financial living, a new personal economics paradigm based on the consciousness of oneness. Are you tired of feeling stressed about money? Do you find yourself stuck in negative patterns regarding your personal finances? Or do you feel conflicted between your own financial needs and your desire to support humanity and the planet? Hi, this is Carmen Ortiz. I'm a conscious certified financial planner and host of the new podcast, Transcendent Money. And in today's episode, we're doing a deep dive into key money traumas and scripts that might be holding us back from experiencing true harmony and financial peace. It is time for us to change our money scripts, our money stories. We need new stories so that we can live in a transcendent way as we move forward serving humanity and the planet, so that we can co-create together the new earth. So new stories. We need to leave behind our money scripts and our money stories and create new stories about life, including money. You find today's conversation of value, please share it and join us in building the transcendent financial living global movement. Let's get started. So we're going to start with 3 questions that are related to our childhood money traumas. And I'm going to invite you to find a notebook and a pen or a pencil to jot down your responses to these questions, because really this episode of this podcast is really a reflective conversation, okay, between me and you, the listener. So hang in there with me, because I think some of these questions and these reflections are going to prove very valuable for you. Okay, so here's question number 1. I want you to close your eyes and think about your first experience with money that made you feel inadequate, irresponsible, and or not enough. And this could have been when you were a child, under 10 years old, be 5, 6, 7 years old, or as a teenager. Because I'm asking, think about your first experience with money. So it will be a childhood experience, right? It could be either, again, as a child or as a teen, particularly a young teen. When I've in groups worked with this question before, most of the participants, their first experience with money was around 5, 6, 7, around there. And so, yeah, just close your eyes, think about that experience, and how did that make you feel? How did you feel during that experience? With your parents, perhaps with an uncle or an older siblings. Okay. Did you feel inadequate? Did you feel like you were irresponsible? Did you feel that you just were not enough whatever? Intelligent enough, smart enough, whatever. Okay, that's question number 1. Okay, let's continue to question number 2. Okay, question number 2 is, how do you respond when you face stressful money situations? What is your automatic response? Okay, when you're facing a money situation that is conflictive, is creating conflicts in your heart, and it just stresses you out. What is your automatic response? Okay. Not going to put words, I'm not going to suggest it. Just jot it down. And question number 3 is regarding your money. Okay, what behavior would you like to stop, like right now? This is a behavior that you've been thinking about it. You wanted to stop it. You may have stopped it temporarily, but then came back, right? But you want to stop it, and you want to stop it permanently. What behavior would that be? Again, I don't want to give suggestions. This is an open-ended questions. Okay, alrighty. So that's the first part. And then to continue, we're going to go with 5 key money scripts. I want you to think about these scripts. Okay, take notes if you want to, and jot down the script or the scripts that you most resonate with. Okay, that you most resonate with. So number 1 is money is scarce. Remember, these are money script, money stories, right? These are our beliefs about money. So do you believe that money is scarce, that there's just not enough of it in your life? Okay, money is scarce. And the way to address this money script, okay, the way of being that's going to address it, it would be you move from fear to love by expressing gratitude and generosity in every case that you possibly can do so. You know, in every opportunity, you say thanks, you express, gratitude, and you express generosity. Okay? That's the way to just go to the counter of this belief, right? Okay, so that you can release it and let it go. This takes practice. Okay, this takes practice, but it's definitely possible for you. Okay, so that's scarcity thinking, right? Scarcity thinking has to do with childhood scripts, childhood experiences around money, and we need to move to abundance, to abundance consciousness. So how do you do that? You do that by expressing gratitude and generosity. Let's go to the next one. The next script here is money is tied to self-worth. Right? So in other words, the more money that you have in the bank, your wallet, the higher your financial net worth, the higher you believe is your self-worth, not just yours, but of anybody. So it's connected, right? The higher the net worth, the higher the self-worth. And this is just a totally irrational belief. We know that is not so, right? Our value as a person has absolutely nothing to do with how much money we have. Zero relationship, right? Because we are valued, every single one of us, as divine beings, right? So we're perfect, we're spiritual beings living a human experience, and we're divine and we're perfect, right? Because we are one with the universe, and we're all worth exactly the same thing, which is like 100% gold. So, yeah. And how do we deal with this? How do we address this money script? We go again from fear to love, because all these money beliefs are based on fear. Right? So we got to move to love. In this case, we move to love through unconditional acceptance and self-love, self-compassion. Okay? That's money script number 2. And then let's go to money script number 3. And that would be money is a source of power. And you may even go deeper with that and believe that power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Okay, and yeah, I mean, take a look at what's going on in the United States with the billionaires running the show, right? Seeking more and more power, and they're like unlimited in their pursuit of money because they really believe that the more money they have, the more power they have. Now, this money script is one that's very close to my heart, because I had a childhood experience with my father, I won't give you the details, but on this podcast. But basically, in a nutshell, that experience that my father had when he was 12, he passed it on to us, to his children. And basically, his message was, be careful with money because money gives you power and power corrupts. And that affected my life. It affected my being as a financial planner. I was really like not embracing my personal power. I was rejecting my personal power when I had my financial planning practice in Manhattan, because I was very successful and I was generating a lot of income. And I wouldn't even mention it to my father, because if I mentioned it to my father, how successful I was, I knew what he was going to say, which is, be careful with the money, with the money that you're making a lot of money, be careful because money gives you power and power corrupts. And I had to deal with that, to let that go, right? As a belief, irrational belief based on my childhood. And here we go from fear to love as we address money is a source of power, that belief. We go from fear to love through forgiveness, through self-care and compassion. That's exactly what I've been up to, throughout my life, working with that script and through self-care and compassion. Okay, and then money, script number 4 is that money is meant to be hoarded. Okay, these are the accumulators. Right? These are the people that just keep saving and investing and growing their net worth, their financial net worth, their financial capital, and nothing is enough, and they don't feel that they have enough to give away, to share it, with others, with humanity, in service to their sacred mission. No, because it's just not enough. Right? Because it's not enough, it needs to be accumulated unlimited. That's also what's happening with these billionaires in the United States right now. They don't want to pay taxes, because they have billions and billions of dollars that they can't spend in 100 lifetimes, but it's not enough. They feel that they deserve and that they want more. So this whole question of how much money is enough, the whole concept of enoughness, is very, 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 very powerful. Because if you have this belief, I am telling you, you can have $100 million of financial capital to your name, and you are not going to think that it is enough for you to be comfortable and feel safe. Totally irrational, but all these money scripts are irrational. And of course, the solution, how do we address this money script, is we go from fear to love through generosity. We just start giving away our money. We become philanthropists, conscious philanthropists, and just start expressing generosity in every single way that we can. That's the way to really break from this trauma, this money script that's holding us back. And then we got the 5th money script, is money is a source of conflicts. Okay. Is money a source of conflict in your life? With your relationships, with your children and your parents and your siblings? I know it's been a source of conflict in my entire life. It hasn't been enough, and just lots of conflicts with my siblings and my parents, and how they manage their money and how they share their money with their children. So is money a source of conflict in your life? Because if it is, then it's very, very difficult to be a co-creator of the new earth, right? To be totally committed to your sacred mission, to serving humanity and the planet, because you're always conflicted with your money. You just don't know, if you're doing the right thing, giving away money, sharing your financial capital. This can also take you to hoarding your capital. And just, again, how do you deal with these conflicts? How do you address money when it is a source of conflict in your life? And we say we move from fear to love with mindful conversations. Mindful conversations with your most important relationships, again, your loved ones, your friends, your partners. And that's it. That's the way to do it. It's just being an observer, becoming an observer, and just becoming very, very conscious about your thoughts, about your words, and about your actions regarding money. Now, this episode on money scripts, this is just touching the surface, just completely touching the surface. Okay, and we're going to have many more episodes on money stories, money scripts that are holding us back, money beliefs that keep us in conflict around our money. And I'm going to be having powerful, again, mindful conversations with guests on this podcast about these beliefs. Okay, because if we are co-creators of the new earth, we have a sacred mission that we want to support. We want to feel empowered with our money and free to take care of ourselves and to take care of humanity, serve humanity and the planet. Then we have to let go, really just let go all of these money scripts, these money beliefs, these money traumas that are keeping us in lack, in scarcity thinking, and blocked, just completely blocked when it comes to abundance and prosperity. And so again, we're going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have found this initial conversation around money scripts of value, then share this podcast, subscribe to the podcast, visit us at transcendentfinancialliving.com and join us in future podcasts, because if this is an area that resonates with you, it's going to be a topic of constant and continuous conversation on the Transcendent Money podcast. So again, I'm going to sign off. This has been Carmen Ortiz with you, thanking you for joining me today. You have been listening to Transcendent Money. Thank you for joining us today. Subscribe to our podcast and visit us at www.transcendentfinancialliving.com.